Oh. Oh, wow. Here you can see some very creative application of, looks like some sort of urethane. It's never a good sign. All of these are actually still here without clips. So this is interesting way to do it. You can see we're definitely getting into some carnage. More urethane. This is not metal. This is filler with essence of rusted metal in it. We'll work our way down. Oh yeah. Here we are underneath of the STI now. So when this guy bought this, underneath it looked nice and fresh and black, kind of like that. So what they did was just sprayed on some of that rubber underbody coating, which is the absolute worst thing you can do to the underside of your car. All it does is trap in moisture and makes the rust go the other direction, whereas something that might have slowed this down would have been proper oil. So this isn't even metal, it's just Bondo and urethane. Eventually it gets into some really punky metal. Moving along, so these the Hawkeye STIs used to have like an underbelly guard, so these would be the holes for it. Again, leaving, this is one of the holes there for the underbelly guard. Leaving it on without taking it off when the car was new and putting oil underneath is the worst thing you can do, because it really traps in garbage and speeds up rust. So this whole inner rocker is gonna have to be replaced along with the outside. Alright. Sorry, Dylan. So you can see there I had a total blowout. It just should be able to poke stuff, but no, total blowout. Alright, so here we are on the other side skirt. I'm assuming by the rigidity of it, and I've taken out all the screws, that it has also been urethaned on. Give her a firm tug. Won't have to worry about breaking any clips, because there aren't any. As long as they don't break the side skirt in half. This one had 3 clips. One was glued in, and the rest is just a big blob of urethane. So this one has been not hammered yet, and it's definitely pretty gnarly. Again, that is Bondo there. This is some really sweet Bondo here. You can see the bulge of it. And going down underneath to the pinch weld here. That's been mostly deleted. We're into more thick Bondo. Very creative. I'm even noticing now here, I don't know if you can see that, the bottoms of the fenders are also Bondo up to about there. Here we are under the driver's side now. It is no better. We'll grab a tool to do some reefing. Again, this rubberized undercoating is the worst thing in the world for cars. So these guys, whoever did it, are really into urethane. Here again, instead of using any sort of clip, some of them stayed on the rocker themselves. They just urethaned in the hole up into whatever was left of the rocker. I mean, like, that's a huge frickin' clump of urethane there. So if you guys are ever short of 20-cent clips, these are the way to go, apparently. Here, this is a bolt, which is a remnant of the underbelly guard these would have come with. It's funny though, when you go to this side, there's no hole because the urethane boys have, again, urethaned over it. They got a lot here. Yeah, up in there. Yeah, that's, I don't know, it's just total used car salesman spec repairs right here. Right, back on with the hammer. This is all just Bondo again. More Bondo. Lots of urethane. Then into the inner side, they've filled that in. This one's kind of untouched, but there used to be one here. And the thing about a car this rusty, repairing it is really difficult because you're gonna have a hard time finding clean metal to weld to. So we're gonna cut this completely out to the seam of the floor and then kind of start grinding on the floor and see if it's solid enough. I'm not gonna stab it because I don't want to make a hole in his floor if I don't have to. Yeah, it's a pretty sad case here. Here, like, pinch weld is made out of urethane. Some good shit. Because at first I'm like, did they put like another rocker panel over the other rocker panel? But no. It's just an additional layer they added on because of that. There's pain and rust. Gross. Subaru. If you ever want to get ripped off on a car, those are the dudes that sold this. So there is the primary cuts, removing the bulk of the rust. a lot of rust. This is incredibly bad. So you can see now it's just a big open cavity. I'm gonna keep working away, fine tuning any more rust. I mean, this car ideally could use a floor pan. So what I'm gonna do to rebuild the intersection, rather than weld on the pretty punky floor, I'm actually gonna end up welding in here, dropping it down, bending the pinch weld, and then the rest of the rocker will come and meet the pinch weld there. For jacking, I'm going to, because this is the inner structure, it was toast, like it didn't reach the pinch weld anymore. So what I'm going to do is clean this up, keep cutting away more of the fine rust, and then I'll weld little drop down plates that will sandwich between the inner and outer pinch weld, and then it has the potential to be jacked up on, but I still wouldn't recommend that. We always jack from like the diff transom and the unibody. If you can't jack from those, then it's time to replace your car. Here's where we're at with a bit of a mock-up hanging the new skin there. Reason being is, like, I'm gonna need to know where the pinch weld's supposed to be. How I'm gonna do it is a drop down piece from there, bent just like the factory one, welded up in there, coming right out from there to there, and then down like a pinch weld. So with those guys hung, I'm just waiting for some sheet metal so I can start to make the sections and then take it all apart and continue cleaning it up to actually start to put it together. There we are with some attachment, looking pretty sweet. Now I've got to make those back sections there, and along with the front section, which is very much a different shape. This is pretty crusty, so I feel like I've got more to cut away here, but it's double layered there, whereas this factory is just one layer. So I'm not totally sure on my method there yet, but I will come up with something. And then this is not welded to the floor, it's actually welded to the reinforcement, the unibody frame in there. So that's going to be a lot stronger than trying to weld to the punky floor. Alright, we got the inner piece attached to the frame there, and we've just vice gripped our pinch weld in place. I'm going to go along weld these little dots. There's a weld through primer on this side of the surface and the underside of this inner piece as well. I'm going to weld that up and carry on. with our rockers on there. I have a couple coats of filler just to clean up the transition. It's looking really good. I've fit the skirts already. I did like some starter holes there. I've got to drill those bigger for the actual factory clips. Underneath, you can see we've made quite a mess of my floor here because we were cleaning up the floor here. So I've gone over all of this with a wire wheel, knocked down the rust, got it somewhat shiny, and then I've done some rust converter and a little coat of like semi-gloss black just to kind of tie it in. And then from there we're gonna blend in rocker guard along the inner rocker pinch weld, and then fading up on the bottom of the rocker there as well. So it's definitely looking sweet, really starting to take shape. Already looks so much different underneath compared to what we started with. Wire wheeling under a car on a hoist is horribly disgusting. I can't imagine the dudes that have to do it on their back, like in their driveway, trying to get this stuff off. But anyway, worth the effort for sure. It looks really nice, super nice. Alright, now we've got the inner rocker into some rocker guard. So it is starting to look the part. And the back cap there. Now off camera, I've got the skirts all prepped for paint. We had to repaint them because they had been screwed on and glued on. There was all sorts of crap on them. Then we've got the rocker into some etch primer. We wire wheeled up this fender lip just because it had some flaky paint rust action going on. So rust converted that, and then put some Pour 15 on it to kind of try and seal it up. When we're done with this car, after the paint, we're going to blast this lip and the underside and inside the rockers with some wax to try and slow down any future corrosion. There we go. So yeah, I'm gonna get it off the hoist. I also faded in like the rocker guard around the pinch weld. This helps for stone chips and stuff like that because this part is exposed from the bottom of the skirt. And then yeah, it blends up into the etch primer, and we are ready to roll in for some paint. Here we are in the booth. We have got this based and cleared, and it's looking super good. Got the side skirts done here, no more screw holes in them. So we filled the holes and obviously had to repaint them. Now we're gonna pull it out, put it back together. Alright, we're back. We have the car out of the paint booth, and I have now flooded the rockers with oil through all the skirt holes and stuff. Then I've also done the floor after our wire wheeling. I'll give you a little scope of that. There we are with the underbody looking a lot better. So this is all coated in fluid film now, which does a really good job of keeping out moisture and stopping rust. Looks really good too. Alright, here we are with the skirts back on, looking super sweet. We did like a new weather stripping and all new clips through the side and up into the bottom. Everything fits like it should. And the skirts obviously were repainted. It's a pretty decent color match. I'll pull it into the sun after this, see how it really looks. We are out in the sun, trying to keep my shadow out of it. It is a really good color match. This car has already been mostly repainted before, so it's not like it was trying to keep up with 17-year-old paint. I don't know when this was painted or what happened, but either or, it looks good. And yeah, now he has rockers. There we go. thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned.